The entire entertainment industry has been infected with woke ideology, not just what we're seeing on the screen, but also what's happening behind the camera. When you're talking about the writer's room, when you're talking about casting, when you're talking about these big decisions, it's all made through the lens of identity politics and the woke agenda. And a lot of viewers are tired of it. A lot of the audience members are tired of it, so much so that they're walking away. But it looks like more and more people inside the Hollywood entertainment industry are sick and tired of that too. They're sick and tired of being treated like a check mark. Oh, hey, you're black, you're gay, you're this, you're that. And one of these guys, Idris Elba, is saying no more. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of playing this game. I've had enough of people defining me solely off the color of my skin in the woke entertainment industry. Idris Elba rejects identity politics, reveals he no longer refers to himself as a specifically black actor. I don't want to be the first black, I'm the first Idris. This is probably going to rock the boat in Hollywood, no doubt about that, especially for a guy who's always at the tip of everyone's tongue for, hey, who should be the casting here? Who should be the casting here? And it's always things like, we should have the first black James Bond. Idris Elba would be really good as a black James Bond. And over again, when asked about these things, Idris Elba's had a pretty consistent answer over the years. He's like, well, I think it'd be cooler if I was just a different 00 agent. I could do something like that. It could be a spinoff in the Bond universe. Why do I need to be the first black James Bond? And now he's going even further with the pushback. It's a rare instance of sanity when an industry completely obsessed over inherently detrimental concept of identity politics. Actor Idris Elba has revealed he no longer describes himself as a black actor due to the limiting and regressive connotations the term implies. The Sonic the Hedgehog 2 star revealed his voluntary change in language during a recent interview with Esquire. Following discussions of his early childhood and the upcoming film sequel to Luther, Elba and Byung eventually broached this general topic of race. Ostensibly asked by Blimes about his experience with racism, because they didn't actually put the question in there, the British native replied, "I'm always curious why this is fascinating to people. It's a question I get asked a lot. I don't go to my black friends in conversation and ask them to tell me about racism. Have I ever faced racism? Yes." Elaborating on his seeming annoyance at the premise of the question, Idris Elba asserted, "If we spend half the time not talking about the differences but the similarities, the entire planet would have to shift in the way we deal with each other. As humans, we're obsessed with race, and that obsession can hinder people's aspirations, hinder people's growth. Racism should be a topic of discussion, sure. Racism is real, but from my perspective, it's only as powerful as you allow it to be." Now, what I feel like he's talking about there, and talking about hinder your aspirations, hinder people's growth, what do we see right now? It's not, hey, anybody can do anything. It's all about, hey, you're being held down. You're being held back. There are these obstacles in your path, and there's nothing you can do about it. The man's keeping you down. Even when you look at the Oscars, despite the fact that Viola Davis has won an Oscar before, she's out there claiming racism from the Oscars because the Woman King didn't get nominated. Absolutely pathetic. And Idris Elba's 100% right. To that end, Elba then informed him, "I've stopped describing myself as a black actor when I realized it put me in a box. We've got to grow, we've got to. Our skin is no more important than that. It's just skin, rant over." There are going to be so many woke people in Hollywood that are furious about this, that do not want Idris Elba to say something like this, because they know it could shatter everything that they're trying to do if more people, especially if more black actors, come out with these type of statements. Elba further rejected Hollywood's penchant for identity politics by noting that rather than having his career heralded as inspiration for just black individuals, he wants to stand as a testament to the potential for people who grew up in rough circumstances like him. "I accept that it's part of my journey to be aware that in many cases, I might be the first to look like me to do a certain thing. And that's good to leave as part of my legacy so that other people, black kids, but also white kids growing up in the circumstances I grew up in, are able to see there's a kid who came from Canning Town who ended up doing what I can do. It can be done." And yes, the idea of this person looks like me, so inherently I can feel inspired by them is ridiculous. When you look at the number of people that can be inspired by stories about people that are nothing like them, maybe something to strive towards, maybe a personality trait, maybe a little bit about their whatever it is that you either admire or can relate to, like there's so many different ways that you can be inspired by someone. They don't have to look like you to do it. It's what we've been trying to say for a long time. Wrapping up his thoughts, Elba then recalled, "I didn't become an actor because I didn't see black people doing it and wanted to change that. I did it because I thought that's a great profession and I could do a good job at it." As you get up the ladder, you get asked what it's like to be the first black to do this or that. Well, it's the same as it would be if I were white. It's the first time for me. I don't want to be the first black. I'm the first Idris. And that is a powerful statement from Idris Elba that probably sends shockwaves through woke Hollywood. They don't want people like Idris Elba out there saying these things. He is demolishing the entire structure that they've built this house of cards that is woke Hollywood on. Love to hear that coming from him. And again, he's a guy who consistently, when asked about, hey, how would it be like to be the first black James Bond, he's given a very interesting answer. And it looks like that's totally played out now within the way he thinks about race and when he thinks about woke Hollywood. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.